Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Agarwal and I did my BTech from VNIT Nagpur in Electronics Engineering, and with my teammate named Chirag who is also from IIM Kashipur and majors in marketing and analytics both as well. Also an engineer, a computer science engineer though. But unfortunately today he is not here, so I'll take the part myself. So I'll start with the importance of ICICI Bank Beat the Curve competition. So actually, this competition was 3 or 4 years back. It is not a very old competition, but since it's a very new competition, it has garnered a lot of eyeballs during this time. The best part about the competition is from every college, there are around 22 colleges who can participate in the competition. So from every college, one team will be a campus winner. And fortunately, that team, which comprises of two students, will get a push from ICICI. But if you look at other competitions, there might be, where after a campus round, you have to again compete for a enable for a PPI. But here, 22 teams means 44 people in total will get a PPI, which is the best part. And the second best part about the competition is the timing of the competition. The competition is organized in the month in the fourth trimester. So when you have just completed your internship and you are in the fresh semester of your second year, there is no placement pressure. It's all about learning. So whatever you have learned in first year and the beginning of second year, you can start applying for this competition, and you can ace it all. So there is no as such, there will be a mid semester exam or term semester exam, because the competition is timed like this, right? So I'll walk you through the structure of the competition. The first round one was, as I told, campus round. So almost all of the students in the campus registers. So assuming that we had around 300 students in the campus, there were 150 teams which participated for the competition. And overall, if you compare all the 22 colleges, there were around 4,200 teams which participated in this campus round. In round two, each and every campus will get one campus winner, and they will proceed for the regional finals. And regional finals is a virtual round. In our case, it was a virtual round in which around top 22 entries from India got mentorship support directly from the ICICI senior leadership team. And in the third round, out of these 22 teams, 6 teams were shortlisted based on their submission, their quality of submission, and then PPIs were offered to each of them. In fact, to all of the campus headquarters of ICICI Bank, which is in BKC, Bombay, and we were allowed to present our solution in front of the senior membership team. And in fact, an audience of 50 plus people who are also from senior leadership ICICI team. So you get to evaluate your idea, your business proposition, and your whole team, which is knowledgeable and which itself from ICICI Bank. So that is one of the best part about this competition. So I'll walk you through in details of the round. In round one, we were given a case study. So the case study for last year was how can we improve the ICICI products considering a digital vision for 2020. As we know that ICICI is a very digitally forward bank. It's more of becoming like a technology company with respect to banking company, because of its lots of initiatives in digital banking, like mobile banking, internet banking products. ICICI has numerous amounts of different technological innovations as compared to other banks. So ICICI Bank was looking for a solution which could be targeted towards millennials who are in the age group of 18 to 25 years, and towards them, and to improve the user experience of it. And how can we improve it? So it was an open-ended case study, and they were looking for primary research, secondary research, proper market opportunity analysis, followed by a concrete financial planning, which was mentioned in the case. And if you look at the round two, in the round two, each like we were based on the idea that we are presenting, because the ideas can be numerous. One could go for a digital banking product, one could go for a savings banking product, one could go for the ATM product. So to get proper mentorship, ICICI allotted a senior mentor from their leadership team to each and every one of us, and made sure that we consult them in a one-to-one video call, which lasted for around 1.5 to 2 hours, and we got all our doubts and queries cleared. There was a cross questioning as well from the team, and how could our solution integrate into the ICICI ecosystem. So this was all about the regional finalists. And out of Out of these around 22 teams, next 6 teams were shortlisted for the final round. And in the final round, the total number of PPTs that we had to make was around 5. So in the first round, I actually forgot to mention, we had to submit a PPT slide of 5 slides. In the second round, which is the regional final round, the slides increased to 8. But again, in the national finalist round, the number of slides decreased to 5. And the total number of minutes that we have given to present in BKC Mumbai was around 8 minutes, followed by a question and answer round of by around 5 minutes. So this was the complete design and the overall presentation that we made for this competition. And since it was a more of a product management type of a competition, wherein we have to come up with an idea, we have to come up with a solution which improves the user experience of ICICI banking products. There were few subjects which were quite useful to us when we were solving this competition. The first was design thinking subject, which was taught in the first year of IIM Kashipur. So design thinking subject. And the second is customer experience design. So in a course called IT product management, how do you use wireframes? How do you use different tools to create a proper screen experience for the user with the help of alpha test, beta test, and A by B testing. And the third was the almighty Philip Kotler book, so which helped us to clarify all the terms that we were looking for. How can we develop a very sharp marketing strategy with the help of new digital coming in, and there are numerous case studies which are already given in Kotler. So Kotler and we also analyzed different Facebook campaigns of different brands, and we were able to come up with a solid marketing for ICICI. Now, the more important part, which is structure of the deck. In most of the competitions, at times, structure of the deck is already given, and what is your thoughts and what is your research into it. But in ICICI, unfortunately, there was no structure of the deck. So it is very important to choose how are you framing your ideas, because even if you have a proper structure, planning and framework is needed to finally ease the competition. So we try to follow a business wherein we started with the problem statement that we're trying to solve. How deep is the problem and what are the actual pain points that the customer is facing, followed by, since I mentioned how deep is the problem, it resonates to market size and opportunity analysis. How big is the market and is the market growing? And the third was competitive landscape mapping, because BFSI has gotten in the last 2 to 3 years, because government has eased down a lot of RBI regulations and compliances. Hence, many fintech startup and companies have opened up their APIs and they're coming up with digital, disrupting solutions. So, what is the competitive landscape? And followed by a strong primary market research. In fact, we conducted a primary market research with 1029 users, and it was actually praised by in the final round. We floated Google, contacted all our alums who were present in different companies to fill their forms. We contacted students of Delhi because we were targeting millennials. So we identified the target market and we approached everyone. Our target was to get at least 1,000 responses for our primary research, and we used data visualization tool called Tableau. The data that we have gathered, and we presented it in an online dashboard format, which could be accessed by anyone using their mobile. Hence, even if I'm not able to present in the PowerPoint, I can ask the audience to open a small link called bit.ly/service1029, which is very easy to remember. And they could actually open those links in their mobile and they were able to browse through different types of research that we had conducted and the visualization that was being done. Followed by secondary research. Secondary research is important because it helps you to analyze the market from a broader perspective, a top to bottom approach. So we followed numerous kinds of research reports which are being published by organizations like Deloitte, McKinsey, and Bain. And we even quoted those research results in our slide while making our point stronger in front of the jury. Because everything that you propose is a hypothesis until unless it is verified or claimed by a data or a statistics. And the sixth point was proposed solution, because we came this a little later because we wanted to focus more on the problem that we are solving and impact and the business, followed by a solution, because we knew that solution is something which is iterated from one time to another. So the solution that you are presenting right now could be different from the solution which is being implemented in the market in the next 6 months. So we proposed a basic solution, and we even tried to build an MVP product with the help of wireframes. So we created a small animation with the help of a tool called Balsamic, and we depicted how the user will be using that app, and we showed that in front of the jury, and followed by revenue and expense forecast and a break-even calculation, because you should have a positive ROI whenever you are launching a project, especially in an organization like ICICI, and to attract more eyeballs and to have a proper solution, a research solution. We designed a white paper, which was not exclusively mentioned in the case study, but we thought that this could give us a competitive edge. So whatever research that we did, which was not included in the 5 slides, we performed all of those in a white paper, which was of 16 pages white paper. It consisted of solution, step implementation plan, what are the things could go wrong, followed by proper financial planning. We printed those out in a proper format, attached in a file, and we printed around 8 such reports and gave to all of the juries that were sitting on. And I think that was also a game changer in the structure of the deck. And the next would be, I would say, question and answer with the jury. In fact, when we were presenting, before going to that, we were not able to completely present our slide. I think there was a gap of around 30 seconds. So the financial part we were not able to present. But question and answer with the jury was a very important round, because you are actually judged by people who are actually in the ground and implementing those solutions. And this was a deal breaker for us, as the panelists as well as the audience were happy when the question and answer round ended. There were a lot of questions. And in fact, one of the jury told us that we are actually working on a similar product on similar line. And he asked us that how will you solve this problem that we are facing internally? And actually before a night before final presentation, we opened up the slide. We read the slide line by line, word by word, and tried to figure out what are the questions that could be from each of these lines that we have written in the slide. Since we knew the project inside out, there were few questions which actually matched with the research that we. So really with the slide, and whatever data and points that you present is very important when you are presenting those slides in front of the jury. And the next point is, post the question and answer round, the panel of the judges as well as the audience of senior executives from the bank scored us using a digital scoring meter. So everyone was given a digital scoring meter, and based on our performance on different criteria. There were around 5 criteria, which was market research, your solution, your innovation, your team, and the way that you are presenting, followed by the question answer round. Each and every member had to vote. So they were a voting of from around 50 audience members plus 8 jury members, and then the score was calculated overall. And in fact, we even got a very good feedback and suggestion from one of the audience that could be implemented on our solution. So we appreciated and we thanked them for their valuable feedback, and we are going to implement that solution in our in the solution that we proposed. So there are a few things which we think that actually made a key into winning the competition. The first one was that a solid primary market research. The kind of primary market research you do is kind of a showcase of how much efforts and how much deep analysis you are solution. Because the solution which is in your mind might not get properly verified, and the assumptions that you have might not get verified when you go and talk to the market. And when you are doing a sample size of more than 500 to 600, it also makes sure that when you are applying filters on that sample size, according to statistics, the sample size will be at least 30 for proper distribution of the curve. So whenever we are using any kind of filters, there is no skewness in the result. So whatever results that we are giving is true, is backed on the data, and is statistically significant. So we did market research of around 1,000, and we got to learn from them. And before going to Mumbai, in the college itself, we booked the classroom and we rehearsed the slide around 10 to 15 times, trying to get through the exact 8-minute limit that was set to us. We even recorded what we were presenting. We got feedback from our classmates, from our professors, and from our team, and we analyzed that how was our body movement, how are we speaking, and where are we exactly standing, and what are we showing in the slide when we are presenting. So these were the small things, I think, which made a key differentiations when we were presenting the competition. And the third part was I did my internship in a bank, and so my partner did my internship in the bank. So we had a proper understanding, not a proper, but a bit understanding of how does the whole ecosystem work, and what is the bank looking for. And also, what we did as a team was we contacted the winner of last year ICICI Beat the Curve, which was also he was also from an IIM, and I contacted him on LinkedIn, and I tried to figure out why did they win that competition, what was so different in their solution, and we realized that they are looking for solution which could be implemented and built in the next 1 year, and the solution should be visible and should have a positive ROI, and it should be feasible by the team of ICICI Bank, which was, so we were looking for solution, which could be easily implemented, which is not very much technology heavy, because at times banks do not have an infrastructure team of people who are managing the technologies. It is mostly outsourced. And we even contacted the last year campus winner of IIM Kashipur, and we tried to understand what went right and what went wrong, and what are your suggestions and feedback on the competition that we are participating in this year. So I think these are the points which made all the key significance in our journey. So thank you so much for this.